85% of the snaps. He's got to be like part linebacker.
The Bears.
When you're in a scouting room, there's going to be differences of opinion.
The Bears.
Well, you're looking at traits. And remember when he tested very, very well.
The Bears.
Greg, why are teams wrong on quarterback evaluation so up?
Number one, it's a hard position to evaluate.
Former Bears scouting director Greg Gabriel talks football live every week on the Barroom Network. Also available on demand.
Look, I think it's a good time to be a Chicago Bears fan. There's a lot to be excited about. But let me tell you something. We are past the point of excuses. If things go sour, you have used up all of the patience that Chicago has to offer.
The following program is rated TV MALV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Here we go, Barflies. Welcome to the Barfly Tailgate Show. You already know it's done by Barflies, for Barflies, and all the other Bears fans out there. What's going on, fellas? Another beautiful weekend in the books. I know they don't want to hear about it, but college football was exciting and fun today, and we got some ball games tonight. Our Chicago Bears are on Sunday Night Football. There's a ton of ball games on today and a bunch of fun, but We'll recap last week, and we'll get into what we're looking for this week. But first and foremost, how you fellas doing? C-Dub, my man across the pond, how you feeling today, brother?
I'm doing great, mate. So it's just always a joy to be talking Bears football and game day. You know, we're on the national stage now, which really fucking makes me worry because we usually suck. I think we lost the last sort of 7 or something. But yeah, man, it's just gonna it's always a great day when there's NFL football on, and after loads to talk about, it was an interesting first game to say the least. But yeah, glad to be here, boys, and bear down, man.
Bear the hell down, Tooch. How you doing, brother? How was your week?
Doing pretty good, man. We got a win. A win is a win, right? We're 1-0. So we thought we'd win this one. It wasn't the way we thought we'd win it, but we got the win. It was a roller coaster emotion. Was just the first half was we're like, who the hell are these guys? Then the second half, like, God, there it is. It's the Bears. It was a lot like the Bears are who we thought they were. Dennis Green, where the defense and special teams has to carry the day, and we couldn't get anything going. Caleb Williams got the Rex Grossman comparisons, But this week, look, they better be prepared to come and play because the Texans have got a trio of wide receivers. It's going to take. Luckily the Bears have a good secondary this year, so we will we'll find out. Sunday Night Football, the Bears haven't fared that great in prime time. You know, we've had our struggles. So it'll be interesting. It's much anticipated. Caleb Williams versus C.J. Stroud. You know, the Bears are trying to do what the Titans did. The Texans did last season. Texans went from last to first. We're trying to go from last to first on the back of a rookie quarterback. That's what they did last season with C.J. Stroud. They had 2 great first-round rookies, Will Smith, who you'll see on the defensive end rushing the passer. We have to beat
Will Anderson.
Will Anderson. I'm sorry. Yeah. What did I say? Will Smith.
Yeah. Keep my quarterback's name out your fucking mouth.
Will Anderson. I'm old. My memory ain't as good as it used to be. Sometimes I get the wrong. I'm becoming the bartender. You know, the bartender spits out the wrong name. You know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
You're going to be more like the mop man soon. You know, the floor sweeper,
the barkeeper, and the bar back. Yep, I see. I thought I saw him pop in back.
Yeah, KB popped in. He is working today, so he might be able to pop in a little later. But it looked like I was about to add him, but it looked like he was still kind of walking around trying to find a spot where he could listen and maybe pop in. So maybe he'll come in later. I think he just pulled himself out so that we didn't throw him on when he wasn't ready. I think. Are you ready now, KB? Let me see if I can bring him in.
Yo,
the man, the myth, the legend, KB. How you doing today, brother?
I was afraid he wasn't going to make it.
Hey, brother. Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? We out running around, running errands and whatnot. So I'm like, man, while we stop, I'm going to go ahead and jump on. You know what I'm saying?
Saving lives.
Hey, man, always, baby. How we doing? How we doing, fellas?
We're doing good, brother. Tooch just wrapped up a little bit of last week's game. If you want to give us your thoughts on the Bears Titans from last week and anything else that you want to bring up, I'm going to talk a little college ball in a second. And, the chat can just deal with it, but it is what it is. But tell me what you felt about the Titans and Bears from last week.
Okay, just a quick overview of that. Offense. I want to say offense was par for what we should have thought it should have been. It wasn't going to come out with them firing on all cylinders. You know, of course, you got a new system. You got a lot of new parts in this offense.
100%.
So they look very disjointed. Waldron's play calling left a lot to be desired, which shocked the shit out of me. It was amazing how fast we kind of abandoned the run in my eyes. And also trying to run up the middle when you have Tavondre Sweat and Simmons just destroying the inside interior of this line.
Right.
You know, you would imagine at some point you start running outside zone, stretch, you know, something, get away from them.
No screen passes.
No screen passes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was a little taken aback at the play calling. I mean, you look at Caleb's stat line, what, 27 passes, like 98 yards? Wasn't great. Defense started a little slow, but, you know, you keep getting put in bad position because the offense isn't moving the ball.
Right.
So that first half didn't really look to be what we thought the defense was going to be, and then second half happens. And that Billings boy,
woo! He was all over the ball in the middle of that D-line.
Yep.
It was just like, man, it just seemed like he was in the backfield all game. And then you see the stat line at the end with 4 pressures, and that led the Bears.
And if he wasn't in the background, he was getting holding calls on his guard because he was killing him so bad.
Yep.
Yes. And our guy, I know y'all probably talking about him, was Terrell. Ooh, that kid. Wearing 52? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shades of Mac with some of that kid's effort and some of his play, man. It's one game, so I'm not gonna talk big on it yet. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what it looks like after 4 weeks. But he looks like a guy. I know people hate that term, but 52 looks like a guy.
Can I just play one clip of 52? Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
But this is the strip sack of Will Levis and Daryl Taylor. He's like walking away like the Joker, you know, just blew up the hospital.
Yeah.
Great blitz pickup by Spears, but that gets knocked away from Levis by Daryl Taylor. Loose ball and out of the pack. And
he's walking off. You guys finish up for me. You know, it's like clean up after me.
I left y'all something back there. Just pick it up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. So I mean, man, today's gonna be a challenge, man.
Absolutely.
That's a hell of a team. But you take shades of, you see what the coach did to him. We have to get the ground game established, and Waldron has to do what I said last week. You have to get Caleb going forward. You know what I'm saying? You can't have the momentum stopping with you trying to be cute and do some of these trick plays and some of this fancy shit. No, do the things that work. Go forward. You know what I'm saying? You gotta if the inside zone doesn't work or just trying to bash up the middle doesn't work, get on the outside. I hate to say it, but shit, let's see some fucking screens. They ain't gotta be 5 back to back to back to back to back. You know what I'm saying? But sprinkle one in. We gotta get his confidence going.
Absolutely.
So let him get the ball out. And right now, you don't know what the status of Keenan Allen is. You don't know what the status is of Roma Dunze. So you might be going at this game with the likes of Scott and DJ Moore and Cole Kmet and Everett and those guys. You know what I'm saying? God, I don't want to talk about Valus. Good God.
Oh, man.
In fact, he still has a job
we ain't
right
done
now.
the wanker of the week yet, so I don't.
I'm sorry. That just threw me off because fuck me.
Like the worst. You know? He kicked the ball like 10 yards.
Yeah. That's I don't know what to say to that, bro. DeAndre Carter looked real good returning kicks. Yep. I did think that we were going to get the first kick return of the modified kickoff rule for a touchdown, but then he ended up getting caught.
Kickoff rule.
And also, man, you got to get love to some of these special teams guys, man. Torrey Taylor, good God, 60-some yard punt, bro. You see why the kid was drafted where he was drafted at. I know the Bears caught flack for it, but God, the kid can be a weapon.
Right.
So to me, it looked like a total Bears effort the old way, special teams defense. So I mean, if the offense can find a way to get on schedule,
anything,
you likely blow teams out, and that's saying a lot. But you can get up on a team, and you know that defense isn't going to just let up points. They might give up some yards, but the points are gonna be very stingy against that team. So yeah, that's my last week thing.
I think.
Sorry, I'm just going to say one thing what I sort of picked up from the podcast after the game was that they actually only used like this sort of big guns and offense. They're only on the field together for 10 plays. This is like your top receivers, Cole Kmet, and also the running back as well. So what's that about? It's sort of like managing your personnel, like you were using Taylor quite a lot. The running back, what he used to play for him in Seattle. But to say, we're trying to help out this kid, the rookie quarterback, and you're not putting your best guys out, then it either meant, the new, Keenan Allen's injury worse and what will at odds. So they're probably thinking, well, he might not be on the field for that long. But that really sort of disappointed me, man, when I found that stat out. Because I kept thinking, it was like last year when... we were coming near ends of games and there'd be sweat on the sideline, the defensive end. And he should be in at the most pivotal time of the game. He's not in it. And you're thinking, what are you doing, man? You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, my sort of thoughts about the game were just, I've never seen the offensive interior line play so horrible. I know Sweat is a massive danger. But come on. Do you know what I mean? What was that? Did I just say something rude or do something then, KB?
KB got his walkie-talkie going on.
I had to make sure it's on.
Well, okay, if you want, let me hop into this and hit your open for you, and you can talk a little while we're on last week's game. You can tell us who your wanker of the week is this week, Chris. Let me hit your intro.
Piss off, you grassy little wanker! Shut up, you stoppy wanker!
Wanker! You're a wanker! Wanker!
Stop being a wanker.
You are a wanker, Andy Marr. And I'll be honest, I didn't know that was coming, but I'll say it again, you are a wanker.
This is Chris Watts's Wanker of the Week.
So we do this every week during the regular season where Chris Watts tells us who dropped the ball and maybe kicked it to the other team, who wasn't on their A game. Chris Watts, who is your wanker of the week this week?
There's two. I know you're only supposed to have one, but there's two. But obviously the first one is Velus Jones. What the fuck, man? Catch the fucking ball. All you got to do is catch the ball. I know it's a difficult job, but come on. You're third year pro now in the NFL, and you fucking did that. And then the worst thing is how it came off his leg and just he booted it like 20, 30 yards to the opposition.
You're right.
And to me, he just don't warrant enough what he gives to the team to be on the 53 roster on a Sunday. I'm sorry, but, all they've been doing in the preseason is try to find a role for the guy, and he's just not good enough at any particular role, I don't think. And I know, Paul's his, first offensive player in the draft ever, third round. I could was all talking about him from Tennessee, but you're supposed to be a professional footballer, mate. I can catch fucking kickoffs, and I'm just some muppet from Yorkshire, and that and it's just sort of, I'm just like past caring. But the second one is the internal offensive line of the Chicago Bears. It were embarrassing. I know, like the guys from Tennessee are probably going to be all pro sort of, defensive tackles and sweat like fucking huge, like a man mountain. But come on, you got a rookie quarterback who needs that protection, and the sort of worst thing is like getting pressure from the middle because it's the quickest way to the quarterback. Right. So the kid, I'm like, a lot of times he just didn't have a chance. So there are the two wankers of the week. They're the first ones of the season.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to argue against those picks. On the 12-ounce Core Route podcast Wednesday, I went on a huge rant about Velus Jones and how I don't ever want to see him active for my Chicago Bears again. We give this man chance after chance after chance, and he continues to drop the ball, literally, and kick it to the other team. So I don't want to see him active ever again. I feel like you get everything from him that you can get from a DeAndre Carter or a Tyler Scott or Travis Homer in the backfield. Any of those guys, you can get the same thing as you get from Velus Jones. And then the interior offensive line, you're absolutely right. I came on here last week and was talking about Coleman Shelton being able to hike the ball correctly. He had a good preseason, this and that. And then he gets absolutely blown over by a linebacker, which is – it should never happen, ever. I don't care. The only way a linebacker should run over your offensive lineman is if he's Lawrence Taylor. That's the only time I should see that. But this dude, I mean,
Nick Kwiatkowski blowing up. What was that guy's name? Was it Cowboys lineman?
I remember what you're talking about. When he came clearing that blitz and lit his ass up.
It looked like Shelton tripped over Tevin Jenkins' leg, but still. Ryan Bates got trucked too. I think Ryan Bates got bench pressed by.
He's on the IR.
They caught him in his back pedal, and he got trucked. The offensive line was a worry. That's what I said last week. I said last week we'd have a hard time running inside against the Titans, the giant T'Vondre Sweat. I don't know if you saw how big that dude was, but just a monster. He was blowing up our double teams. And then Jeffrey Simmons is all pro. Yeah, I mean, there was nothing doing in the middle.
And they kept trying to do up the middle. I didn't get it.
Trying to run up the middle.
What are we doing?
It's like somebody mentioned about the play calling. I noticed that the play calling, we were just doing sweeps to the right because we knew we just couldn't do anything in the middle of that line. And we must have done it at least on one drive, at least 2-3 times, literally in a row. And also as well, just sort of Cole Kmet didn't get really many sort of touches of the ball. Yeah. Just like how I mentioned before, I just think the distribution of players wasn't really well managed at all on offense.
Yeah, Cole Kmet was, he was hardly even on the field. It reminded me of when Coach Cal was here at Kentucky. He'd have guys like Devin Booker coming off the bench. SGA came off the bench. Last year he had Reed and Rob Dillingham, 2 top 10 draft picks, coming off the bench. Like, you got to know your personnel and put the best players in position for you to win the game. Like I said, this week, shout out to Will Levis because he gave us that ball game. Yeah, I love Will Levis. I got his signed his signed jersey back here.
Yeah, the shovel pass that
fumbled the ball,
intercepted was, that was it, man. Thank you, Will Levis.
The land sitting on the
all the way back.
Yeah,
I was sort of happy it happened, but there was like a bit of me thinking.
I mean, yeah, I was torn going into the game, but as the game was going on, look. You all see what I'm rocking. I rock with the Bears. Bottom line, that's point blank. Period. Bears pulled out the win. Will Levis gave us that win. But even the coach came out and said, "I feel like if we'd have just punted on offense, we would have won this game." They had it in the bag. They didn't even have to. I don't know why they were still passing. I don't know if that goes back to the play calling or if Will was changing that at the line, but they had us down 17-0 and they're still throwing the ball.
Yeah, it was dumb.
I don't know.
Pollard had clipped off some good runs against us too.
Yeah.
Especially in the second quarter. But also as well, KB, this was really cool. I was watching one of these Chicago sports shows, and they had Brad Biggs on. And they were talking about last week's game, and he absolutely loved Big Cuz. He loved everything, mate. He said if he went down injured, that'd be a massive fucking problem for the Bears, man.
Yeah.
And I was like, good, I've got to tell KB, he probably already knows, but that was just so cool, man. That because I was watching the game and I was going, go on, Andrew. Because sometimes, you don't really watch the line play if you try. And I was going, man, I think he's like got quicker. To me, he just seems quicker. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's lost a little weight or done some different sort of training, but he's definitely quicker off the ball. And then when he goes back into a free take, it's like, it's over with. It's over with that guard.
Yeah, I remember one of the defensive series. I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, I don't see him in the middle. I'm like, all right, they must got him out. Then the play goes, and then I'm like, who the fuck is that on the edge? Leaning into the TV, I paused it. I'm like, wait, they put him out on the edge? I text AC. I'm like, they got him lining up in defensive end. He's like, I didn't see it. And then I'm like, all right, man, that's the only time it's gonna happen. No, he was back out on the edge again.
He told us, they're moving him around the line. They're switching and swapping. Yep. So if you tune into the Bears Ballroom Radio Network, you had an update that they were going to be moving these linemen around on the D line. I remember I was listening to the score last week, and they were talking about the way they were moving Andrew Billings playing three techniques, some playing on the edge and stuff. And they were like, wow, that was amazing to see that. And I was like, I mean, all y'all got to do is tune in, that's all you got to do. And you would already know. But definitely shout out to your cousin, KB. He did his thing last week, and hopefully he continues because
sir.
He looked damn good out there.
Hey man, we looking for that all-pro season, man. You know what I'm
saying? He said he wanted 3 sacks this year. He said it right here.
Yeah, he did. I thought he was close to getting 1. Hell, I was like, he got it.
Man, we should have made that bold prediction, man. I think get 5 sacks this season.
He just might, man.
Yep. Look, the Bears rookies, they struggled in this game, man. Caleb Williams looked nervous to me, sailed some balls high. That's usually a sign of being a little nervous. Austin Booker lost contain on the big run for Pollard. I think it was Booker. And that was their introduction to NFL regular season, right? But tonight we're going to have a real test with that Texans offense. Look, the last time we won on Sunday Night Football was 10 years ago against the 49ers. We pulled off a 17-point comeback. Unfortunately, we used our 17-point comeback last weekend.
Already.
But, this was Marshall 2 touchdowns, Cutler, Forte. It was the first game at the 49ers' new stadium. It was 10 years ago.
I remember that
10
game.
years ago today. Tonight, the Bears' offensive line is going to get tested because the Bears put Ryan Bates on injured reserve.
Yeah.
To me, Shelton and Bates, they're going to have to go back to Ryan, or what's that guy's name? Nate Davis. Ryan Davis. You have to go back to Nate Davis.
I hope Matt Pryor gets some playing time.
That's what I was going to say, KB.
I'm not so sure. I'd rather see Matt Pryor. And you know what? I almost would rather see Doug Kramer at center. You know, I have to look and see if Kramer's active. I think he was active last week.
I know Coleman Shelton's going to get a lot of hate, but I still feel like he's our best option. I feel like if they saw what they needed to out of Doug Kramer, we would have already seen him on the field. I know he was injured in his rookie year.
Yep.
I just don't know if he's big enough to.
Well, Shelton's only 285.
Yeah.
You know, Sweat had 80 pounds on him. You know, it's like
Sweat's going to have 80 pounds on a lot of
everybody.
dudes.
He's going to have at least 60 on
him coming out, he was a big dude. Florida's got one coming out next year. He wears number 21, and he is
that's a big boy.
Big.
Yeah, 6'7",
that's
420.
That's chunky.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll see a lot of guys like that throughout the season. I think them two interior defensive tackles are like probably one of the top duos we'll see this season.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it would just. I mean, I don't think Jenkins had a particularly great game, and Nate Davis, man. Right. I mean, I don't know if he just I watched one play, and I don't know if he just completely forgot what he was supposed to be doing, but he more or less just sort of try to touch somebody just to make contact. He would just sort of go around in circles without doing absolutely anything. Sorry, and I think he's a bust for us. Well, I mean, what do you reckon? I know we can't cut him because of the money, but I mean, what do you think long term about the guy? Is it seems like because he's our best option because of Bates being injured?
I'm assuming he's our best option, but it seems like he's one of those dudes who got his paycheck and he don't want to practice no more. He doesn't show up to training. I know last year he had a good reason. His mother passed away. I mean, I understand that. Give him a pass for that. But this year it's like he goes out for one practice and then he's like, man, my calf hurt. Man, KB, well, we all played. You remember there was dudes on the team like that. You know, that man, my wrists don't feel too, you know what I'm saying? I'm not 100%. Like they say all the time, playing hurt is different than playing injured. Like you can play through some pain and suck it up. But some dudes, they just I don't know. I mean, I'm not happy with it. And the thing is, our GM is an offensive lineman, right? And his goal was to fix the offensive line. I'll give him credit for everything that he's done, but he has yet to do that. You know, we don't think we have a center. Your left guard, the best one you got, is injured half the time. Your right guard is the guy that you paid a lot of money to come in here, doesn't want to show up to work. Darnell Wright's fine at right tackle, and your left tackle, you got lucky you found a dude in the 5th round that might suffice decently.
Small school.
But you talk about, I mean, we talked about it off air, Chris. Lloyd Cushenberry, who we played against last week, he was a free agent. He got paid by the Titans. Go out and pay someone some daggone money.
Especially when you only have 4 draft picks.
Exactly. You're trading, and I'm fine with the trading away draft picks if you think it's a better player. I think Keenan Allen's going to be fine. I think Ryan Bates will be fine when he comes back from IR. But the players were there for you to go out and get, and it's almost Pace like the way he falls in love with some of these guys, and then he's done it with Bayless and he's done it with Ryan Bates now, where he loves this dude and that's the dude he's going for.
He's afraid he's going to miss all those ferret stories from Bayless.
Well, that was slightly more interesting than watching DJ Moore go for ice cream with his family. I mean, what the fuck was that about? God's sake.
That's our owners telling them they don't want nothing on there that's going to. You want drama, and they didn't give us any drama.
I mean, it was great, but that was a bit of a bore. I thought that part of the program.
I'd like to see Matt Pryor because I thought he was one of the better ones. Bill Murray to Chapman.
Nobody for Chicago Bears, mate. That's awesome.
We had a guy named Bill Murray on the team.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I think he wears number 60.
Okay, I remember Murray. I didn't know his name was Bill. That's hilarious.
It's awesome, isn't it?
That guy's destined to be a starter on the Bears line. Can he snap? Shit.
I got to have that ready, Andy.
Man.
That's the kind of quality you get here. You know?
KB, while we still got you, brother, I know you live in The shadow of touchdown Jesus, they had a big bounce back win yesterday. The
Good for them.
Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Oh, yeah.
Your Michigan Wolverines fought like hell to win by 10 against Arkansas State. Did you watch any college ball yesterday?
I caught bits and pieces of the Michigan game. I caught bits and pieces of Colorado State game, and I wanted to watch the Kentucky Georgia game just because you. And I saw the video which y'all was up by at half. I'm like, okay. And then like I said, I didn't do much yesterday. Like I said, I just got off working 48, so like I'm probably gonna rest a lot today. So I caught my bits and pieces. I said, I've seen the score for Notre Dame. Good for Notre Dame with the bounce back win. Apparently they haven't lost the game and then bounced back with a big win like that since they played Chicago Physicians and something other. So apparently they beat the shit out of some doctors from Chicago. So, and it was like back in the 60s or some shit or something crazy. But yeah, man, like I said, I tried to catch a couple of the games, man. Michigan is pissing me off because I don't know if they know what they're gonna do at quarterback yet.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, man. I would love to see Orgy play, but then they got the other kid playing. I don't know, man. This year's been weird.
Is that what you're saying?
I'm all the way down for the Orgy. Like I said, I guess Urlacher's kid balled out yesterday. They say he was flying around. I forgot that his kid was at Notre Dame. Notre Dame has like 7 or 8 kids who got professional bloodlines to the league right now. You got Burrs' kid and Plesko Burrs' kid, Ike Taylor's son.
Is that where Jerome Bettis' son went?
Yeah, Jerome Bettis' son is there. I guess they got like Ken Griffey Jr.'s son there. Like,
what?
Yeah, it's wild, bro. Notre Dame has a crap ton of famous children on the roster right now. So
yeah,
bloodlines.
Yeah,
tackles just like his dad, man.
Hey man, I don't know what year he is, but he keeps it up, man.
Freshman.
He's a freshman?
Yeah.
True or red shirt?
I think he's a true freshman.
Wow.
I think he's either. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's a true freshman. He could be a red shirt, but I think he's.
Well, KB, you talk about y'all looking for a quarterback. I mean, you let one go, and he ends up there in Iowa too.
Yep.
Finally,
we got a little offense.
Yeah,
we played Troy, and they gave us a little battle though, but I think it was 34-20 victory. We didn't cover the spread, but Iowa has an easy schedule this year, so I mean, I think they're gonna pass over that win total expectation.
I mean, I wish I could say that my Kentucky Wildcats had an easy schedule, man, but we played South Carolina last week, who looks a lot better than I thought they were. I mean, they played LSU this week and played them really tough. Then we had Georgia. In a few weeks, we got to go down and play Texas. We also got to play Ole Miss at Ole Miss. Like, they were like, "Hey, welcome to the new SEC. Here's Kentucky." But I was really upset the way they played last week, my Kentucky Wildcats. But this week, the way they bounced back with Georgia coming into town, they were big time underdogs. I think it was 24 at one point, and maybe went down to like 21. Tooch is our gambling expert. He could probably let me know a little more than that. But they showed up. They showed out. There was a couple of plays where the conservativeness of Mark Stoops got in the way. They didn't go for try and score before halftime, which made me upset. They just kicked a field goal. And then at the end of the game on 4th and 8, they punted with 3 minutes left instead of going for it. I think that was the difference in the game. I was really proud of the way they came out. The offensive line showed when I watched Saturday against South Carolina, I feel like I watched it over again when I was watching the Chicago Bears offensive line. So the way Kentucky's offensive line bounced back, I need to see that out of our guys tonight as well. So that I know the chat doesn't like when I go into college football, but that is a good way to tie it back into the pros. C-Dub, I know you don't watch a ton of college. Did you catch anything yesterday, or should we just move on?
I watched, I think, the first half of the Alabama Wisconsin game. I watched the first half of that, but the thing is, I have to watch it on YouTube. So basically, I was watching what was the big game? What was early on? I can't remember now. Was it LSU? But it was one of the bigger games, and that got blocked. So basically, that's how I ended up watching the Alabama game. But yeah, really, really good. I mean, I enjoy watching it. I mean, obviously, I've got that leaning towards Kentucky because of UAC, and you know what I mean. But I still haven't got like a passion for like one particular, at university. And I don't know why. The only connection I've got is I've got a little bit of a connection to Clemson because one of the guys who played for the club I played for, who came from America, he used to play a linebacker at Clemson. This would have been back in the 80s. So I always keep a bit of an eye out for Clemson, and we ended up having like the same kit as Clemson, but in blue, like with a paw mark on it. So I've got a soft spot for Clemson, but yeah, I do. It's just like any game I can watch, really. But it was good football, man. It was good football, but Alabama just looked too strong. As soon as they got a bit of a lead, then you could tell Wisconsin just didn't have it in them to get back. But they were just far too superior as a squad. But yeah, man, it's just that sheer laziness why I don't really watch it all the time. But it's like I say, anything I can catch on YouTube, that's how I watch it. Because I'm not going to pay a subscription anymore, another subscription for college football.
Yeah.
And I get all the information from you guys on the show, so I don't need to watch it all, do I? Whoever last week, how dare you?
yeah. We come in here, we try to break down everything that happens. It's a tailgate. So when you're at a tailgate, you're not only talking about the Bears. You're talking about everything else that happens in the league. College ball, like who to watch out for coming in next year. I mean, you talk about Bama, you want to talk about some recruits that you can get to bolster up this O-line, bolster up the defense, things like that.
Are you going to tell me that you've been doing your mock drafts already?
No, not yet. I ain't done one yet.
A couple of weeks.
I gotta give it a few weeks to see what we need.
You wait until the leaves fall off the trees and you think, it's mock draft time.
Yeah. About Thanksgiving or so,
All right. Oh, yeah.
But we'll get into this game tonight. Chicago Bears traveling down to Houston. KB, your cousin, said this was the game he had circled on his calendar. He's going back home to the Lone Star State. Sunday night football, taking on CJ Stroud, who is the guy that we hope we have. We didn't see it last week, but CJ Stroud did have a game last year where he only threw for 91 yards. It was a loss against the Carolina Panthers. So we have seen rookies struggle. Even the great ones have tough games. Hopefully they've got it back on track. They actually have tape on this defense, which Caleb brought that up in the press conference. We didn't know what we were walking into against the Titans because their DC, it was his first time ever calling plays. So we don't. What tape do you watch to try and game plan against it? And I think that maybe that was part of the play calling as well. KB, Waldron not really knowing where or how to attack that defense last week, but this week there's a ton of tape. I mean, DeMarco Ryans does what he does. He comes from the 49ers system, who defense is smothering, but they don't do anything exotic. They just run their defense. I mean, the Houston Texans their goal is the Super Bowl, and they're damn close. I mean, they got their quarterback on a rookie contract. They go out and get Stephon Diggs for him. Re-sign Nico Collins, who balled out for him last year. They got Tank Dell, one of the best slot receivers in the league. At running back, they went and got Joe Mixon from the Bengals, who is you talk about a bell cow running back. Yeah, that is a bell cow running back. So that'll be the first priority for Mr. Billings, KB, is to shut down Mr. Mixon, because that's going to be a tough one. And then
fucking Packers fans.
Hey, ask him how his quarterback's doing. No, don't do that.
Shut up. I'll go in there and ask him.
Who was it, KB? A Packer fan?
Yeah, my guy Gordon. It's funny because we're both Michigan fans, but then we split on the NFL. So
I was going to say, tell him to fuck himself, but he was a friend. But I don't.
You can still say it to him. I don't care. I say it to him.
Well, mate, go fuck yourself, you Packer fan. Fuck off.
He knows the vibes. He knows the vibes.
But yeah, I mean, this is a tough team. It's a tough test. And on top of all that, Chicago Bears decided to wear their orange uniforms tonight.
Oh no, man, it's terrible.
It is the worst. We look like Buffalo Wild Wings out there. I just don't understand why they think that looks good when there's so many other options. And now the Vikings and Packers, I know this is irrelevant. Some people might not like it, but the Vikings and Packers both dropped their all-white uniforms. And I'm like, the Bears have it there to do, and they just choose not to. And it looks so crispy and so clean. Whoever drew up that grizzly bear uniform or polar bear uniform, it looks so freaking clean if you've seen it. What are we doing? We're 0-7.
See, the worst thing is, I actually spoke to Michael McCaskey twice, and like after the first time I saw him, I thought, oh man, I should have said to him, bring back the white uniforms. And I thought, if I bump into him again, I'll do it. But when I saw him a second time, you saw the state of me that morning from being one of your fellow citizens in a drinking competition. You don't do that with an Englishman. You go to an Englishman, I'll challenge you to a drinking competition, especially if the booze is free. You can't. No chance, man. No chance.
Yeah, that was a rough morning for a lot of y'all. At our tailgate.
Said to him, white uniforms. Everybody loves the white uniforms. Just bring them back, sir. Like you said, and I won't even mind him trying like a white helmet as well. Keep on the sea on just something different. But that orange, after like watching it, like say after the first quarter, it starts physically making me feel a bit sick because I get so annoyed at it. But sorry, AC, I was ranting.
No, I mean that's perfect. That's right down the road. I was going to talk about. We've run into George McCaskey. You can see him at the tailgates. I don't know if he'll listen to your input, but he did listen to KB when KB said, "Hey, we need to re-sign my cousin." They did listen to that when that happened.
He got real serious face too. He was like,
"Yeah, he did as well."
He's playing great.
Yeah, but I mean, Bears are 0-7, trying to buck the trend. Torian Whitfield says we're like 1-3 in the orange. I mean, if that's the number, I don't know. But I feel like every time we wear them, we lose. I'm assuming the players like it, but I don't like the look of it.
Orange uniform, it just reminds me of like a really horrible Thursday night game we played. I think it might have been against Washington. And it was like we could have won it if Mooney caught the pass. And it was such an depressing, boring game. And I had to watch it in that fucking uniform as well. I was thinking, I'm glad I'm on medication, man.
Yeah, I don't know why
the Giants uniforms last week.
Oh, those are god
absolutely boring.
Yeah, thank God we're not Giants fans, by the way.
Thank God.
I got a buddy at work because Kentucky, we don't have a team. So everyone has teams from all over. There's a lot of Steelers fans. Of course, a lot of Bengals fans because that's about an hour north of here. But I got a friend of mine at work. He's originally from New York. He's a Giants fan. And I was like, man, what's going on with y'all? He's like, I just want to lose every game and try and get another quarterback. I was like, yeah, I've been there before, man. I know how to.
Just imagine paying Daniel Jones the amount of money y'all did and having to let Saquon fucking Barkley walk.
Yeah, so the Eagles as well.
Right. That's a fire. I'm sorry. Everybody should be fired off of that. And I feel bad because Joe Shane is from the city. So
from South Bend, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't want to root against the guy because he's from here. But damn, man, yeah, there's no way.
And when the owner's in your office saying, "I'm gonna lose some sleep if he's playing for the Eagles," and you still don't pony up the money to get it taken care of. If you have to turn Daniel Jones's salary into a signing bonus, so you got all kinds of money to pull from. I mean, everyone uses it around the league. I mean, look at San Francisco, look at the Rams, look at so many teams. They'll just convert it to a signing bonus, so then you've got salary cap space. It's not. It's not difficult. I don't know, but we're off on tangents, and I forgot where I was going here.
Anyway, I'll bring us back in a bit of a tangent, man. How do you think our defensive backs are going to be against their wide receivers? Because they've got a decent group, but how do you reckon? Because I mean, basically, that's one of the strengths of the team now. So I just always, what do you think? Anybody?
I think that is a strength of them and a strength of us. It's going to be.
I think it could be quite low scoring.
Yeah, it'll be a nice little back and forth. We'll have to keep an eye on Stephon Diggs. If he's not getting the ball, we know how he reacts to that. I mean, he's already worked his way away from two teams because of that, and there's so many mouths to feed in that
attitude problem, I think. But look, all three of those guys are zone busters. Bears run the eighth most amount of zone coverage in the NFL.
Preseason, he got upset.
Unfortunately, I think the Texans are catching us at the right time. We're catching the Texans at the wrong time, man. I hate to say it, but while I'll be rooting for my Bears, I don't like their chances in this game, especially with the injuries of Dunze, Allen. We just brought up Colin Johnson from the practice squad, who, if you remember, had a big game against the Texans in the Hall of Fame game in the preseason.
Oh, yeah.
After that was lost to injury. Now he gets a second chance at the Texans, so we'll see. And then the offensive line injuries of Bates, and we're going to have to watch another member get inserted into that lineup. Who knows what Nate Davis is going to do, which Nate Davis is going to show up. Like I said, that trade or that signing is kind of like the Chase Claypool trade.
Yes, yes.
Not the best. And then I know the chat wanted us to invest in the offensive line. We only had 4 draft picks. We traded back into the draft to get Booker. So we ended up having
which was
5,
a good trade.
Which was a great trade. We only had 5 picks. So we did draft Kieran Amagaji, who by all accounts might play today. Maybe, I don't know, but he was injured when we drafted him. He had that quad. But look, Caleb Williams. I know some people in the chat want him benched already. It's one game. Tyson Bagent isn't coming in unless Caleb Williams is injured. There's no way the Bears are going to risk. This is their franchise quarterback. There's no way they're taking out Caleb Williams unless he's injured. So
Luke is saying that Kieran is active today, so Amagaji, I guess we might see him. I don't. Do they got him back up left tackle or left guard, or where do they?
I would love to see him starting the right guard today.
He plays guard or tackle. I imagine he's going to go wherever they need him. But look, with the injuries to Odunze and Allen, I expect Titans to put Derek Stingley on DJ Moore the whole game. I mean, Derek Stingley, hell of a cornerback, probably one of the top 10 in the NFL. So I mean, that's going to put pressure on the Bears offense. You want to try and run. I think you run on the Texans. The Colts did last week. You can beat them.
I didn't look. I know they said that they ran quite a bit on them, but they do have Anthony Richardson. How much of that was quarterback running yards? I only saw the only play I saw was the 60-yard bomb that Richardson threw.
That was probably 75 yards in the air. Plus, he
slipped and almost fell.
He slipped at the top of his drop, and then he was fading to his left. It was not set, and hit him in the back of the end zone, 75 yards. I mean,
wow.
The Texans safeties had to be saying, "Go ahead, you can't throw it that far." Oh shit, he can throw it that far. But man, if you get a chance to watch that clip, oh my god,
it's hard to know what Anthony Richardson is. I mean, he was a guy that I thought wasn't good coming out of college. I thought was overdrafted. But when you see him make plays like that, it's hard to argue against his natural talent and ability. His biggest issue is injuries. In college, though, at Florida, he wasn't an accurate passer. He always had the cannon. But he just wasn't very accurate. But I mean, I think he's got the right coaching staff in front of him in Indy. I think Shane Steichen's a great coach. I mean, look what he did with Jalen Hurts, and now he's doing it with Richardson. And but yeah, I just hadn't looked deep into the play to see how much of the rushing yards was the quarterback rushing, because we don't have Justin back there anymore. Caleb might be a little fleet of foot, but I think he learned real quick last week that spinning out from somebody, you ain't got time. Somebody else is coming, bro.
I was gonna say on that play, I think that was the one time during the game I was like, I'm not even trying to bring up the debate anymore because it's dead. Our quarterbacks are what our quarterbacks are. But it's just like, man, we've seen that play from Fields before, right? It's just like he spins out and then all of a sudden he's up the fucking field for like 20 yards.
Right.
And it's just like, all right, man, we got this rookie now. Like he's not the same athlete as Fields was. But I know folks are whining and saying, "Oh my God, he's this, he's that already." You got to get the kid at least 4 games to get acclimated to the NFL, man.
Well, on top of that, I watched the QB school breakdown, and like you said, Tucci, it looked like he was nervous. He had some overthrows. There was 2 or 3 throws where he just straight up missed, but they kept trying to feed the ball to Keenan Allen for some reason. Like that was their game plan.
That was a sure touchdown.
And he drops a touchdown.
Williams would look a lot better. His numbers look a lot better if Allen did all that passing. And that's his job. He should have made that catch.
He should have.
Well, Taurine says we got to get Caleb his first passing touchdown. Hey, he had it last week.
We did. Should have had it last week.
Keenan Allen literally just dropped it. I mean, it's wild.
I was gonna say this is something else I was looking at because it also plays into the whole Cole Kmet thing, because we all noticed that Cole Kmet went on the field a lot. We also know that Shane Waldron does have a penchant for playing 3 receiver sets, and I think he wanted to get more into that. But you kind of get the whiff of, I think they want the 3 receivers on the field so you can get a Doomsday the playing time. You know what I'm saying? You could feature some of these rookies because, hey, I mean, you get your 2 first-round picks. This is supposed to be the turn of the Bears roster and team and all that. So I think they kind of boosted a Doomsday at the cost of a Cole Kmet, because in what world are you gonna sit there and say I'm gonna take Keenan Allen off the field for a Doomsday? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to make that argument because you have that man's a premier receiver in the league, no matter where he is at this in his stage of his career right now.
Can I just get in with one little thing that worries me about this game?
Yeah.
Last week, the Bears, at least in the first half, the second half, we did a lot better job on third down. But versus Will Levis, they completed a few third and longs against us.
Third and 15, third and 20.
Third and 14. Last week against the Colts, C.J. Stroud was on 3rd and 4th down, week 1, 9 for 9, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns. C.J. Stroud is a cool customer. He does not get rattled for such a young player. They made some improvements along the offensive line. I think they have Laramie Tunsil's a good left tackle. And then they've got Shaq Mason at guard. The defense, I think J2K had it in there. Will Anderson's a little banged up.
Yeah.
They still have Daniil Hunter on the other side who gave us fits when he was in Minnesota.
Okay, I forgot.
You mentioned D'Amico Ryans came from San Francisco. He brought Jimmy Ward with him at free safety. That guy's a good ball player.
I was going to say, and they got Petrie still too.
Yep. So they have that Henry To'o at strong side linebacker who's having a good season so far. It's a decent defense, and Bobby Slowick, man, he's one of the best offensive coordinators.
That's the dude I wanted. I wanted him.
That was the one guy I wanted to.
Eberflus.
Yep, so did I. His dad was defensive coordinator here. I think it was with Geron. He was Geron's defensive coordinator, Bobby Slowick's dad. But very creative offensive play caller. Was Shane Waldron the knocking him in Seattle? Was that really good offensive coach, developing the quarterbacks? Not the best play caller. That was what Seattle Seahawks fans would tell you.
Right.
And kind of on his some of the play calls, the first read was Gerald Everett or Keenan Allen. I thought they really tried to force the ball to those 2 guys. And I'd rather see DJ Moore as a first read or Cole Kmet over those 2 guys.
Yeah.
I think that was an issue. I think hopefully they get that sorted out.
I was going to say, and that brings me to what I was saying with, I think if in this game, especially if you go with those 2 being hurt and you get more of the personnel of the Cole Kmet and the DJ Moore into the game, I think you will see a little bit of the offense going better. You'll have more of an idea what it'll look like. and it's not to take shots at Keenan Allen or Rome Odunze or nothing like that, but you got two guys that have been here. You know what Cole Kmet is. Cole Kmet, if you used right up the seam, is a monster. Some of these crossing routes that he can get on or going on the corner, you need those plays from Cole Kmet, and that's where you get the plays that you saw last year with Fields, where you see Cole Kmet was more of a safety blanket. That's what Caleb needs. He needs a safety blanket, and Cole Kmet can be that. So I just want to see more feature with him in it, because I don't want to see him phase out of the offense, kind of like how Greg Olsen was. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like, oh, we can't have him here, and then you phase him out, and then he goes on to be something great somewhere
Hall of
else.
Fame tight end.
Yeah. So I just want to see Cole Kmet being used, not sitting on the sideline.
That's my big complaint last
Waldron.
week. Where the hell's 85? He's so much faster than Everett.
And Waldron ran a lot of 2 tight end sets in Seattle. I was really surprised that we didn't see more of that. Like you said, KB, though, maybe that was emphasis of trying to get Rome Odunze.
That's what I was just about to say.
But
how about Odunze's first NFL catch? Did you guys see it? It bounced off a defender's head. Then
was it his head? I thought it was his shoulder pad.
It could have been his shoulder pad. High up in the air, Odunze fortunately was near the ball and came down with it, and then he fumbled it immediately.
Yeah.
It's like, welcome to the NFL, right?
Yeah. And then he gets injured on Velus Jones' running play because we had to force feed Velus Jones for some goddamn reason. Yeah, I mean, I think if one of those guys can't go tonight, whether it's Keenan or Rome, you'll see a lot more 2 tight end sets, and that'll help us with the running game, which also helps you keep the ball out of CJ Stroud's hands. So,
great point.
Maybe there should be an emphasis on running the ball today. Chris, go ahead, bro.
I was going to say, if we can get that running, I mean, I think we can run on them up the middle, not like we did last week. And also, as well, I just think that's really important for Williams, because then he can do the play action pass, which is really good, and he can do his rollouts, and just be interested to see if they play like Herbert a bit more as well this week, because I think he could have made a little bit of a difference, because he hits the line really hard and quick if they were struggling to get yardage like between the tackles. But yeah, I think, if we can get a running game going against them and our defense plays like they have been doing, maybe it just needs that one-off special play, that one-off wow play, what gives us a field goal or however points we need to beat them. So it's just offensive line's going to do probably one of the most sort of watched units I'll be watching later on today, man, because that really cost us the game, I think, and us as well. We just didn't have any rhythm last week. And that, there was no, even when the pre-season games, we seem to have a nice rhythm going in the offense. And, it seems like their D-line made such a big, mess of our offensive line that it was like his playbook went a little bit out astray. And, I don't think he really wanted to do some of them plays which he actually called, just due to their, dominance on the line. So it's going to be interesting, man. But yeah, it's just. I mean, are we going to do predictions? Is that? I mean,
yeah. We can go ahead and get into it. It's about 11:00. We got Goon and Tooch coming in soon to help with the fantasy lineup. So if you want to go ahead, give me a score prediction, a bowl prediction, an MVP, and hit shout outs, and we'll close this thing on out. I'll start with you, Chris, since you was already going, and then we'll go around backwards this way. We'll go KB.
I feel like a party pooper now. So you made me look like the party pooper. I didn't mean it like that at all. I just went maybe in the conversation, but I look like the party pooper there. But I'd say my prediction is I just think with the injuries with them wide receivers, it's sort of like that's why we brought him in, because Caleb needs that support. He needs to be playing with above average players, especially in his first season. So I think it's going to be 24-21 to the Texans. And it makes me feel dirty. I always feel really dirty, and feels like I'm cheating on a girlfriend when I go against the Bears, man. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm quite a miserable person anyway, so it's like I'm adding to my own misery by using that prediction. You know what? My star player is I'm going to go for him, and I think it's going to be Big Cuz. I think he's going to have an all-pro season, KB. And if he can get pressure at the middle, that'll make such a difference, especially with our defensive backs, supposed to be so good. Then, I think he can make a massive difference for that game, for the Bears in the game.
Nah, that's a good call, the way he played last week.
Oh, yeah, man. Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
We'll go ahead and hit shout-outs, and then we'll pass to KB after you hydrate.
Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah, shout-outs is to you boys. You know what I mean? It's just Sundays are back, man. You know what I mean? Football's properly back. I can't believe we're already talking about the second week after all them months of pre-season talk. Yeah, thank you, everybody in the chat. You made it a show. Please subscribe and give us a like. We do. It makes a big difference, and it's good for the ego, man. Don't know about anything else. I like it for the ego. Yeah, thanks for Aldo as usual. Yeah, you can catch me on the British Bear Show on a Tuesday night. I think it's about 4 p.m. Eastern time it starts, and that's with a friend called Jason UK Bears. So it's like it's just the Bear Show with a bit of a British accent. So if you can't understand me, you'll definitely understand Jason because he's from around London. So he's like, if you can't understand a word I fucking say, we got to back up with Jason. He sounds properly English. But yeah, just I don't know, man. I just want to see Williams just be more consistent, have time to do what he does, man. And yeah, but I think they are going to struggle, and it's just that I just wish it wasn't a prime time game because we just stuck. I can remember like when we played the Rams at the start of the season a couple of years ago, and it was just like we just got beaten so bad, and Eddie Jackson didn't pick up like a ball, and it was just So yeah. I'm hoping it's not going to be like that. But yeah, thanks to everybody watching the show, and fuck it, man. No, I've still got no prediction. I was going to turn, but no, I'll stick with my prediction. And
are you going to be able to watch? It's like 1:30 in the morning there.
That's the debate too, which I keep thinking. Shall I have a bit of a nap?
Yeah.
And then there's power on through.
Yeah, wake up. Go back
there's power on through with a little nap, and then there's getting some more beers.
Yeah.
Power on through with alcohol, and then there's alcohol and cannabis, which is a power on through. So I've got quite a lot of options, but it'll probably just end me being in bed and watching on catch up tomorrow morning. Because it will be about 1:30 when it kicks off, or 1 o'clock.
Yeah. I think I would just catch it tomorrow when I could.
Right.
Go ahead, KB. Hit me with your predictions and shout outs.
Oh, shit. What did the Texans get last week? When it 31? Something like that.
Was it that high? I felt like it was like they won by 2.
Yeah, 29-27.
Oh, 29-27. All right. I'll say 24-17. I'm sorry, I'm leading Houston in this one. I don't think they'll score a lot of points, even though 24 is kind of iffy. I mean, but I think like Cooch said, I just think they're getting us at the right time. We're building toward being what they are. You know what I'm saying? And you have to find whatever rhythm you need to find with Caleb right now. And hopefully they started this game with Will Anderson being kind of hampered. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about that two-headed snake coming off the end with him and Daniil Hunter. And I also know they got didn't they get Buddy from what, the Bengals to be in the middle? I know he's more run stopper than he is pass rusher, but with our interior O-line problems, they might turn him into they might turn Buddy into goddamn Aaron Donald 3.0. So yeah, man, I still think we're trying to figure out what the offense is going to be. We'll see what the personnel is looking like today because of the injuries. Bold prediction. I say I'll say this: we get more sacks than Houston Texans get sacks on us. I don't know who that'll be. I say Cuz gets one of those sacks for damn sure. Yes. Because it's us coming back to Texas. Cuz shows out, he gets his sack. But I do feel like we'll out-sack them, and I think our defense will look better than their defense. I just don't think that our offense is up to par yet. That's just saying that. Shout outs to everybody in chat. Shout out to everybody doing shows, man. You see them always going. You always getting barroom notifications because somebody's doing something. So shout out to you boys with all the commitment and y'all doing what y'all do, man. This radio network couldn't be what it is without y'all and without the Podfather Aldo Gandia doing this thing and keeping us all in check, man. We appreciate you and we love you. And like I said, man, I always shout out to you boys, man. Like I said, I didn't know if you boys was gonna make it. You see them on my phone today. We got lucky. We came to the old station. I was like, hey, I can go out back and do this now, man. You know what I'm saying? If I was downtown, probably this would have been rough. So yeah, like I said, I love you boys, man. I pray for Bears win, man. Just because I'm not picking us to win doesn't mean I'm not hoping that we win. I'm just being realistic. Love you boys, man. Go Bears.
Right on. Go ahead, Tooch.
All right. Look, the Bears aren't winning 17 games. I'm sorry to break it to you, fellas. I know. Do I think the Bears have a chance to win the game? Yes. Look, not only do they have 3 really good zone beaters at wide receiver and C.J. Stroud, a cool customer at quarterback, but you also have to deal with Joe Mixon. Man, that guy's an awesome receiver out of the backfield. I forgot. Carried the ball 30 times last week. Like you said, a true bell cow, AC. Yeah. But he's an excellent receiver out of the background. Last year, Mixon ranked 8th in receiving yards per pass play among running backs, which is pretty darn good. This dude's I feel like he's been in the league forever, Mixon, and he's only 28 years old. I think he's got 8 years in the league, but last year the Texans didn't have a good run game. This year with Mixon, I think they do. That's another thing. I don't think we didn't play the run that well last week against the Titans, especially in the first half. I think we have to shore that up if we're going to have a chance in this one. Sure. The secondary has got to be perfect today, and I don't know if they can. So my prediction is going to be Texans 27, go Bears 20. I think we could put up points on them. Caleb Williams is not ready for prime time. In my opinion, I have to see it first. Do I think the kid has a future in the NFL? Of course. I just think he's getting a little bit of a rude awakening. It's not the Pac-12, AC.
Right.
Right. It's a lot different. So and then we're banged up at receiver. So I think it's going to be a really tough game for the Bears, especially on the road, especially on prime time where we haven't played well. Would I like the Bears to win? Will I be rooting for the Bears? Yes. My most valued player is going to be Andrew Billings.
Dang, everybody going big cuz.
Shout outs to Aldo and you guys for bringing it every week. Shout out to all the barroom personalities for putting. This is crunch time, man. It's NFL. It's football season. Whether it's college football or NFL football or draft or preseason or whatever. But folks at the barroom are working their asses off to bring out some quality content. So join us right after the show, Fantasy Football Goon. I'll give out some prop plays. I think if I give one out here, my prop play would be J.K. Dobbins over 59.5 rushing yards today against
they got Panthers. It that low?
The Panthers' rush defense is absolutely horrible.
No, I mean, like his numbers that low. I mean,
yeah, 59.5. It was.
Harbaugh's going to run the ball. Go. All right, KB. Bear down, brother.
Yourself, mate.
Yep. So, I'm on that play. Yeah. JK over 59.5 yards rushing.
Yeah, that'd be
free play.
That should be an easy one. I mean, like I said, Jim Harbaugh's going to run the ball. That's
the
one thing.
Did you see the Harbaugh and Justin Herbert clip where he's like slapping him? He's like
patting him down,
patting him on the back. Oh man, that when I saw that clip, I'm like, damn, I kind of wish he was our coach. He's crazy as hell. Yeah, I know. I liked him, and I like Bobby Slowick. Those are two of my top picks. I don't know why we settled on Eberflus. I don't know if Eberflus looks like he's especially from Hard Knocks and preseason talk and all of his press conferences, sounds like he's growing into the role of being a head coach. Not sure if he's the guy that can lead us all the way, though.
Yeah. The Caesar says it right here. You know, if he was our coach, we'd have an O-line. That's for sure. He would have he would have made it priority.
Pound the ball, but made Caleb Williams' life a little easier. We put skill position players around Caleb, but we didn't invest in the offensive line. It's kind of like the cart before the horse.
Yeah, let's see how it all plays out. Are you done? Is it my turn now?
Yep,
okay.
all you.
Like the video, comment on the video. The chat went crazy today. Subscribe to the Barroom Network, and I'll tell you when we go live. We go live every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. to break down the Bears, whether they're playing on Sunday Night Football or 425 or the 1 o'clock game, or I believe we even on Monday night games we go at Sunday morning. But I definitely first and foremost shout out to you guys for coming on here. KB, shout out to you, brother. I know you had to go. He's working today, so he's
saving lives.
Carved out a little bit of time for us, and we appreciate it for sure. Yep. My score prediction, I have been leaning Texans all week. When I first saw this, Texans were 7-point favorites, and I felt like that was just about right. But I think Bears cover that 7-point spread. Aldo put it up earlier. It may have went down to 6.5. I think, but now everybody's picking Texans. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's go Bears. Bear the fuck down. Bears win 27-24. My player of the game.
We all picked the Texans, right? The three of us.
Y'all
so you look like a genius if the Bears.
I'm rocking with the Bears. My player of the game is Caleb Williams. He comes out and throws for 250 yards and 2 or 3 touchdowns. I think they're going to run the ball a lot, but then you can run play action off of that, and I think Caleb has the ability. I mean, he's been watching Aaron Rodgers do it like a magician for years, hiding that ball on his thigh. So, you know, he could do the same kind of things. I think defense shows up really and plays really well. Get some pressure on CJ Stroud. He is cool and collected back there, but we got the horses behind our D line to make plays back there too. And, you know, it's not like we said it coming into the season. This is number 1 overall pick usually doesn't do well, but the number 1 overall pick is coming into a team, and we saw it last week. One side of the ball doesn't get the job done. Okay, we'll block a punt. We'll intercept the ball. You know, we'll knock the ball out of Will Levis's hand when he's back to pass. Other players on this team can pick up one side of the ball that's not per se playing very well. And shout out to Caleb Williams for the way he handled the media afterwards. You know, I was worried about that because last year at USC, if he had a bad game, he didn't have to talk to the media. He just checked out. You know, he hopped in his Lambo and rode to his condo and didn't talk to nobody. But
I was worried when he said, but I think we saw in Hard Knocks, he said practice is a lot harder than the games. Do you remember that, Caleb?
Yeah, but it was preseason. I mean,
I know, but
remember Justin said the game was slowing down for him early.
That's what I was getting to. Is like Justin Fields said the game's really slowing down for me. Yeah, I don't know, but do you want to tackle this question? Because usually it's out of necessity, Keith, because we don't have anything else, man.
Why does Chicago need to start rookie quarterbacks? Yeah. Green Bay didn't. One of Caleb's rituals over there didn't magically get 3 good quarterbacks in a row. They developed them correctly. Hey,
they sit
my co-host on the 12-ounce Score Right podcast is a Packers fan, and he even said that nobody is able to do this. And I was like, yeah, because y'all got Hall of Famers. Of course, you're able to sit your back and wait. It's not who would we have had in Bajent. There's one guy in the chat who's in love with Bajent. Bajent's good, but he's a backup, man. It's not like and when we tried to do it that way, they brought in Mike Glennon.
I love Bajent too.
Didn't work out. Absolutely, I love Tyson Bajent, but he's a backup to me. I think
he doesn't have the arm of a Caleb Williams, but I wish he would put his brain inside of Caleb this season. But I don't. Yeah, I mean, look. Teams, I expected, the Dolphins to maybe make a little call over here to see if Bajent was available, but I would expect Poles to say no. And I
think with
expect
Ryan Tannehill still out on the street,
Tannehill's still out there, I think the Dolphins will go. But Tua Tagovailoa, I recommend that he retires, Matt. Just like there's just too many concussions. He's going to be the quality of his life in later years is going to be just insurmountable.
I mean, we know what Otis Wilson has to say about the game of football. He says he would never have done it if he knew what it would have done to his brain.
Yeah,
that's and I mean, it was a lot more. There was a lot more danger back then. The equipment wasn't as good as it is now, but I mean, I know this isn't a Dolphins show, but Tua, you've got a history of head injuries. Why would you try and run through someone like your Jerome Bettis? Like it's not a smart play. He had the first down. He should have slid. Go ahead, Chris.
It wasn't even like a really high impact sort of tackle as well, which injured him. Oh, yeah. It wasn't a dirty tackle. It wasn't like steering. More or less, his head went into the guy's shoulder, and it was ironic that it was the guy from the Bills that had the heart attack, or whatever happened to him on the field last year, the year before. But yeah, I mean, it's just you just don't like seeing players go down like that, and it's horrible to see somebody who's really concussed as well. I can imagine it's upsetting for his teammates and his family, and you just don't want to see anybody. I mean, we all joke about the Packers losing love, but I don't want to see Hugh being injured and stopping doing something what he's really good at, and what a lot of people get pleasure from watching do. Can't believe I just said that about Packers quarterback.
I would take the under on Caleb's passing yards today if
you take the under.
Well, I mean, I just don't think he's ready. Plus, we're banked up at wide receiver. Do I think he could tune into a shootout? Yes, though. That's why I wouldn't bet it. But if you put a gun to my head, I'd take the under on Caleb's passing yards. Which I think it's 200.
Man. I just think
I don't know exactly what it is. I'll look, but
I just think after last week, he's been watching tape all week, and he's going to be. I think he got the first game jitters out. I think we're going to see a different Caleb. He needs to fix his arm angles. We saw too many tip balls for my liking last week, but
it's 218.5 is the over.
Yeah. What I really want to see starting the game, I want to see screen passes, and I want to see 1, 2, 3 balls out. 1, 2, 3 balls out. Hit some slants. Hit some easy passes to get his confidence up.
The tight end.
And then when they start moving down into that, you can do your double moves and stuff like that.
If the Bears get Kmet involved, I think they have a better chance. If they keep trying to feed Gerald Everett, who I think is terrible, man. I think it's a terrible signing. I don't think he's any good.
I don't think he's terrible. I just think he's not as good an option as Kmet.
Yeah,
I think you put them both on the field at the same time. And the Seahawks offense, look what they did with Will Dissly. I mean, that's a dude who just put up fantasy points. He was like their second or third tight end.
Yeah, looked like the most unathletic guy in the world too.
Right.
It's like fat, balding. It's like I was out there. It's like
yeah.
He got a big contract to go to. Where is he now? He's on.
Was it the Rams he went to?
He's on
or
the Chargers.
Chargers. Yeah.
He's on the Chargers. Yeah. Got paid.
Yeah, Jim said you can come block for me, kid.
Yeah.
But we got all our predictions are in. Shout out to the chat for sure coming in and they were on fire today. Stay tuned for Tooch staying on with Goon to tell you how to set your fantasy lineup if that's what you're into. I'll have to double check mine.
Week, man. There wasn't a lot of scoring. Like all the good players didn't do hardly anything. The top scorers were guys that were at the bottom of your bench. Guys who probably didn't start.
I had Isaiah Likely in a dynasty league that I've been holding on to since I drafted him in his rookie year. And he finally goes off sitting on my bench. But I don't know. It is what it is. Tune into that to tell you who to start, who to sit, who's injured, who's out. Hopefully the inactive. I don't know when the Sunday Night Football inactive list comes out, but we'll be definitely double checking on that.
Yeah, 3 p.m. they have to get it in.
So that'll tell you what we're doing at wide receiver and all that fun stuff. So keep an eye on that. Are we doing halftime and after the game? I know we didn't do it last week because Aldo was at the game, is the plan to go live at halftime and after the game?
Oh, is that what they're doing, the guys?
The Bear football. They did it last year, but I don't know.
Did they do it this year too?
I don't think they're doing it this year. I'm sure
No, all those says no.
It sounds like it's not happening this year. No.
Well, just subscribe to the Bar Room, and they'll tell you when we go live. We break everything down and preview everything and do all the things: Bears, Bulls, Sox. Not the Cubs. Maybe next year I'll do a Cubs show or something. I don't know. Try to fit that into my schedule because we definitely got to talk about the best baseball team in Chicago, even though neither one of them is going to make the playoffs, most likely. And we'll come back next week. We'll break down what we see from Sunday Night Football and preview next week's game. But until next week, bear down.
Bear down.
Bear down.